Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm Sethum and welcome back to another video guide. I'm once again in Valheim, and in this video I'm going to show you how to easily defeat Yagluth, which is the last boss currently in Valheim. Now you see these wolves over here, they do have a role to play, and that's because I'm going to show you two methods. And as you can see, I'm constantly getting more and more wolf pups, but as I said, this will also be a part of this video. I'm going to use a bunch of wolves, and that is my breeding section right there for the wolves that are currently dropping down there. Now of course, for those interested in this method, which will be featured in this video with the wolves, I will make a separate set of videos showing you how to tame a wolf once you find a 2-star wolf, as well as how to breed them like crazy so that you will have a bunch of wolves to help you with this boss. It's quite funny how easy this fight becomes if you have a bunch of these wolves. So this is what it looks like right here, but this isn't what this video is about. So let's get into Yagluth and everything that you need to know in order to fight him. So before we get into it, we need to have a couple of things. We need to have 5 of these totems right here, so they are the falling totems, and now you can find them in the villages, so they will be on a stand like that right there. Sometimes the shamans may drop them, so they look like this right here. They don't take a lot of hits to take down, but they can be a pain. They do put up shields and hit quite hard, so keep that in mind. And there are rumors that these guys right here, the brutes, may potentially drop. Now, to be fairly honest, I've not seen them drop anything. However, I've always found them in the villages with the fallings. But one thing to note is that not every falling village will have a totem stand. So that's another thing to know. Now, of course, if you're struggling with them, I have a guide for the villages, and that'll help you take them out quickly. Now, next thing you'll need is a boss stone locator right there, and you'll find them around structures like this right here, which looks kind of like a little Stonehenge type of deal. So they will have a little stone. You can see them better when it's dark because they glow in a red light. Now this is quite close to where the boss arena is, which is somewhere right there. Now one thing that I want to point out is this arena looks pretty darn cool. It looks like a hand, so we've got the 4 fingers and the thumb sticking out the ground, but quite important here is that Yagluth can damage them, so there's no point in actually using this for cover. There is a pit there that I was showing you, and that pit is what we're going to use in the first method to defeat Yagluth. So basically it's a ramped pit going down to the deepest end. Right here you can see from a previous fight that he has damaged the structure right here, which is kind of sad because it looks kind of cool, but I understand why they did that. You can't really hide behind it. So I'm going to show you how to build the pit. We're going to go at a fair distance from the summoning altar, and I think this should be good enough, about so. And we're going to of course eat some food. We're going to need some frost arrows. They seem to do the best type of damage, and I'm going to use the Draugr bow. I have tried using the hammers on him, however, because I don't really use hammers in this game, or in my gameplay, my proficiency with hammers is pretty bad, and I do more damage with the bow, so I find it quite easy. Yes, it is a bit time consuming, and you need, I'd say, maybe 300 arrows just to be on the safe side. I strongly also recommend that you have 2 bows with you, because one will not be sufficient. That means, of course, it will take some time to take down Yagluth, but it is ridiculously easy, and with this method you will break the boss to a point where he does not do anything. He just stands there, that's it, and he's just basically waiting to be picked off. So once we've got to the maximum depth, and this is what it looks like, we are going to start building a ramp towards the altar. Why towards the altar? Well, because we're going to summon the boss at the altar, and we want to get in this ditch that we made, in this trench that we made, as quick as possible. We don't want to get hit by his meteor shower because it will hurt really badly. The only downside to this method, and it doesn't happen very often, is if Yagluth is facing the exact same way as the trench is lined when he summons the meteor shower. That means you don't really have anywhere to hide. But if that's the case, then just kite him around a wee bit and then hide in the trench. So let's make a little flat area right here, which will allow us to move a wee bit if we need to. I think that should be good enough. We don't want any obstructions. We want to keep it clear. So I'm going to get rid of the stone. That should be good enough. And we have a ramp going up. Now, very important. Oh, we can go a bit deeper. Right, let's go as deep as we can then. Now, very important is at the end of the slope, you want to have a bit of a lip, if that makes sense, going downwards, or a bit of an edge, a bit of a slope edge, whatever you want to call it. The idea behind it is Yagluth won't want to follow you down here. Because of that, it will read to the AI as a cliff, and of course the AI doesn't want to go down cliffs. So that's what we're going to take advantage right here. So that right there, that's exactly what we want. We want that lip right there. That will keep Yagluth from following us. The same thing is here. It's just probably a bit smaller, but it's sufficiently big enough for us to run down and be able to get back up. And then basically this is what we're going to do. We're just going to run down here and wait for him to just kind of come to us. As I said, the only important thing here is that Yagluth isn't facing in this line basically when he summons the meteor shower, and that's about it. That's the only important thing that we need to keep an eye on, and I think it's pretty flat. That should be good enough in terms of depth. Let's go and summon Yagluth. So what we're going to do is we are going to need the Farling totems, and as you can see, I've got a bunch of arrows here. I'm probably going to use 3 stacks of 100 and then 2 of the Drugger bows. You want to have these upgraded, or as upgraded as possible. I probably suggest bringing 3 just to be just for good measure if you don't have them fully upgraded or upgraded at all. 2 should be good enough in all honesty, and obviously the higher the proficiency in your bows, the quicker you take them down. It's just that simple. I've tested a bunch of arrows and these seem to be the most efficient with regards to taking them down. Food wise, we don't really care. We just want a decent amount of health in case we do get hit, and more importantly, a decent amount of stamina. So I'm going to take off God mode just to show you that this is so easy, it just is ridiculous. And we're going to get rid of that death mosquito right there. I think before you even start the fight, make sure there's nothing around. You don't really want any complications. Now, the death mosquitoes become annoying. They're not all that difficult to take down. But the last thing that you need whilst summoning the boss is a death mosquito. So we're going to place down the totems, 5 in total on each of these little pedestals. I'm just looking around to make sure there aren't any death mosquitoes in the area to complicate our lives. We want to keep it as simple as possible. Totems down, time to summon him. And after we've summoned him, we're just going to run to the trench that we made. I want to see where he's at. So he's kind of in line with the trench, which is not necessarily a good thing. Did try and hit him there as he was spawning, just to aggro him. We'll probably try and get another shot on him. There we go. One more just for good measure. And I'm running down this way. And I'm just going to wait for him to come to me. And just watch what happens here. This is where the fun starts. By the way, the music is pretty good. So he does want to come down this way. I hope he doesn't raise his hand. Okay, he's going to spit fire. So he has 3 attacks. He will have a ground pound. He will have a fire breath. And if he raises his arm, I think it's his right arm or something like that, correct me if I'm wrong, he will summon a meteor shower. But he is exactly where we want him to be, and this is where he's going to stay for the rest of the fight. He may move and position himself in his attempt to get to me, so right there, as you saw, he has summoned a meteor shower because it is basically at a 90-degree with us. He's never going to hit us. Even if it's at an angle, he's never going to hit us with the meteor shower. The only way he will hit us is if his line of sight is basically in the same path as this trench. That's the only way he will hit us. And yeah, this is it. We broke him now. He's just going to stay here for the rest of the fight. All we need to do is just be patient and fire arrows at him. Of course, it will take some time, but I was never in any real danger. I don't even need to eat food or anything, unless I want to stock up on stamina, but not really all that important. We can just take our time and take him down. I did go through a Draugr bow just as a thought there, so you can see up there. But with 2 bows and, as you can see, about 2 stacks of arrows, I took him down. So I'd say 200 arrows was for me is what worked. But I do have a good level in bow, so keep that in mind. This will be dependent on your level in bows. Next up, I'm going to show you the wolf method. Now over here I have 20 of my bred wolves. They are all following me, and because they're following me, we need to pick out where Yagluth will summon. Now remember, the wolves all following me, so I need to take the wolves to Yagluth. So there he goes, is right there. I'm just going to run to this area and let the wolves deal with him. As he comes up, they already start attacking him, and look at his health bar. He is going down really quick. Now this over here is a very easy method to do. Also very important to note is that it's a very likely possibility that your wolves will also die with him, but that's not a bad thing, because we can then harvest all the pelts and the meat, and then we can feed it to the breeding pair and get some more wolves out. Really, it's actually not all that bad. And as you can see, they have their uses. They take down Yagluth very easy, doesn't really take much of anything, and as you're getting your things prepared for the fight, you can always breed the wolves. Now you're probably thinking, 20 wolves, that's quite a lot. Well, don't worry about it, I got you covered. In the next couple of days, I will be putting out a set of videos showing you how to find and tame a 2-star wolf, and then how to breed that 2-star wolf with any other wolf to get basically 2 stars. So the way this works, and I'm just going to mention it in this video, is as long as you have a 2-star wolf, you can breed it with any other wolf, and it's random what you get, but you have a chance of getting another 2-star wolf. Once you have 2 2-star wolves, you can just breed those wolves over and over again, and as you saw at the beginning of this video, you will end up having a pit full of 2-star wolves. I mean, in time it will happen, and as you can see, they are very, as you saw in this video actually, they are very efficient at dealing with Yagluth. So you can just bring them to Yagluth's location and farm them over and over again with really no resources. All you need is the starting breeding pair, and then just supply everything else that you need. So all the meat and stuff will come from the wolves that have sacrificed themselves for the greater good. Now, very briefly here, you will get, of course, a new resource from this boss, which you can't quite use just yet in the game. Maybe it will be useful when the game will get its new update, new bosses and stuff like that, and new biomes. And of course, with the trophy, you just go back to your starting region and place the trophy on the altar. With that being said and done, that is pretty much it for this video, folks. I do hope that you have enjoyed it and found it useful and informative. If you have, please don't forget to support me and the channel by hitting that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and haven't already for more similar content from myself. And if you have just subscribed, why not check out some of my other videos and guides here on this channel? Who knows, you might just enjoy them. And of course, for those interested, you can always find me on the Sethtopia Discord. Links, of course, you can find down below in the video's description. Until next time, stay safe, folks.